The end is nigh. The time of the white frost is here. This is the final Witcher 3 episode. We're discussing the endings, the character endings that we have not discussed about, and we're going to get into it because we're fresh off of Lucy watching the Bad ending.
Yeah, that was an experience. Managed to avoid it for the whole 7 or odd years that the game has been out, and we've just did a little live watch along of it. So I think we'll post that as like a separate little short on YouTube or something if you guys are interested in seeing that. It was I don't know the word for it, to be honest. I feel a bit empty after watching that.
It's very depressing.
It
But
is,
yeah,
yeah.
make sure to check out our channel there, and hopefully stuff like that. We'll put a little bit more shorter ones on there. Another big thing that happened today, Wednesday, is we also several hours ago watched the CDPR stream talking about the Witcher 3 next gen update, all the stuff they're adding, all the stuff they're fixing, all the stuff that Lucy is going to play through on her 100% playthrough in 3 weeks. That's coming out in like 3 weeks.
Hasn't this all timed up just so lovely? Like, we've come to the end of the story and it's like, here's the game, start again. Like, brilliant. We've just finished it. So I think it comes out on December 14th. They're dropping the update, which is a next gen update. So it's a lot of fine tuning of the game, a lot of graphics updates, some other updates that they talked about, which are great, not necessarily going to impact us, but they've included a whole new language in the game. I think it was Chinese or some sort of I don't know the exact language, but
fully
it was
voiced Chinese.
Fully voiced in Chinese and all subtitles and everything as well, which is amazing, but obviously not something that we'll be using. I don't know if you know Chinese.
No, but it's Mandarin is the main one, and then there's Cantonese.
So that's what I mean. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, it is weird when they said Chinese. I'm like, isn't that kind of a generalization? Wouldn't it be like Mandarin?
Who knows?
Or maybe we have that wrong. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, it's coming out on the 14th. Like Brett said, I'm going to be doing a 100% playthrough. They are adding in a new Wii Quest, which is based on the Netflix influence. They haven't really given much away about that, apart from that it is going to be a thing. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, the armor.
I think they said, which it looked like Griffin.
Yeah,
like, I know, good listener.
But then there's also
Bishop let us know about that. But yeah, it looked like Lannister. I saw Lannister, but he rightfully looked at it. It kind of looked again like Dragoness Chinese. I think it might have been Hal or someone that said that.
Yeah.
During the stream, but it looked badass. Yes. And so yeah, that's the main thing. The only thing that I'm really looking forward to, and it would be any quests or like a new armor or something like that. And so I'm glad that it's tied together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw that they've got some armor inspired by Henry Cavill's Geralt from season 1 and season 2 of the Netflix show. There's also a new skin for Jaskier where he'll have his little Joey Beatty inspired outfit on, which I'm so excited for. So yeah, there's a few nice wee things. What have I missed?
The Nilfgaardian season 1 armor.
Can you believe they've done that? After all the shtick they got for that armor.
I mean, that's just trolling, right?
It must be. They're trolling Netflix.
If they were really... Do you think they had like a Henry Cavill looking Geralt that they had to scrap if they had the Joey Beatty one?
They thought they're going to do his whole face, but then they've just given us the armor instead.
Yeah, just like do that, and then they get young, because there's no doubt with this stuff here, like they knew about that before. I'm sure they were led in if they were doing something like it, and they were able to scrap it.
Yeah,
to some extent.
I mean, maybe but also that's why it's been delayed.
It could be, but it's also, it's obviously it's easier to put Joey Beatty's likeness in the game than it is Henry Cavill. That might be a bridge too far from it. So, but no, that was interesting. It'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see you play through it. 100% Death March. Wow, that's incredible.
It is. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that. But...
Are you actually doing Death March?
I think I should. I think I've been saying that for a wee while now. I probably
you want to be a true
it.
gamer, right?
If I want to be 100%. A real gamer, then yes, I should.
But the time, because we basic Wit Girl, former guest, good friend of the show. She's 100%ing Red Dead 2 right now.
Yeah,
and she's been on that for
over a year. Yeah.
Jesus.
She stalls a lot, though. I know she doesn't
She
want to
does.
finish
She
that
does.
game, so she gets
She
a lot of
does.
stick from her chat, I think, for stalling.
No,
But I think
100%.
she's in the epilogue now, so she's honing in on the end.
But just so much, and then like, oh my God,
I mean,
all the
with that, you've got
diving you're
so
gonna
much
have
to
to do in
collect and everything. Yeah.
Skellige,
So.
yes. That's the guy responsible for all those catches in
Yeah.
there. So no, but that'll be fun to look forward to when that comes out December 14th.
Yes. Yes. Not too long away now.
All right. So because this is the last Witcher 3 episode, we've been asked a ton. We've given not hints at some things, but we've alluded to what it is. Right after this, for the next few weeks, will be some kind of special episode. May do a mailbag. So make sure to check out our Discord and everything really cool. through there. We definitely want to do like Elden Ring. You know, now that you're done with it, we can do an Elden Ring episode.
7 months then later.
Blood Origin. Yeah, exactly. Months afterwards. And then Blood Origin, whenever that comes in. We obviously won't put out episodes until it airs, which is Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So depending on if we can see that earlier, it will depend on when those episodes come out. But we are going to do Blood Origin throughout the end of December and then into January. Okay. If you have come into our streams or come into Discord, it will not be news to you that we are not going to jump right into Hearts of Stone, okay? We are going to cover Hearts of Stone. We are going to cover Blood and Wine. We're going to cover every, main Witcher thing that comes out and will continue to come out, no doubt. But we don't know when exactly we're going to cover it. We've discussed what we wanted to cover after Blood Origin, and we're pretty sure what we're going to do. Yeah. And that will be announced. I don't know. We haven't even discussed that within a week or so. I don't know. Hell, who knows? It may come out before this episode comes out. I don't know. But, check the socials for all that. And, come January, we're going to do something a little different, but it is something that I think you'll enjoy. And I know we will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think especially we had so much fun recording our Patreon episodes, which was going over House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. So it's nice to, as much as we love Witcher, it's so nice to jump into other worlds and other things every now and then. And it'll be nice, doing Blood Origin, do something else, come back to Hearts of Stone, do something else, come back. And then Netflix Series 3 will be out. So there's always going to be Witcher stuff to talk about.
Yeah, hopefully that will, The Witcher 3 Season 3. There you go. Series 3 will be in the summer. But yeah, at this point, again, a lot of, what I personally always hope for, and I think you're kind of in that same boat, is by now that hopefully people like us and they like to hear us talking and doing all that. And so if it is something like you're just here to talk about The Witcher, that's cool. We get it. But, it comes from everybody who does something like borderline full time. You can kind of, you can move on from things at times. So again, but I think some people are still thinking we're never going to come back to Hearts of Stone, but we are 100% going to come back to Hearts of Stone.
Because again, like I've said, to talk about Hearts of Stone.
Yeah, because like I said, it's my favorites of all the stories that they've done.
Yeah,
like the writing and all that. To me, Hearts of Stone is as good as it gets. So we will be there. We promise.
Absolutely. And Hearts of Stone is going to be amazing. And hopefully we can get some cool guests and everything lined up, and it'll just be so much fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to do that for sure to take the pressure off of us.
Yeah.
That's always just throw it onto the guests, make them super nervous and be like, it's all on you. Okay.
Talk about yourself.
We're just going to throw it to you and just ask you questions. You got to carry us. That is what we do. But again, kind of inside baseball, I do love that almost every one of our guests, if they're not like podcasters per se, like if they're streaming and all that, everyone has just been, I'm so they're so nervous. And then by the end, they're just like,
chill,
so smooth and chill, and they're like, oh, that was so easy.
Yeah,
I'm like, good.
I remember when I was first on, I was literally so nervous, and I was in my old flat, and I was just like, oh, why has he asked me to do this? I don't know why he's asked me to do this. And then I was so nervous, and then obviously it just went. I think, well, I can hardly remember now, but I think it went well. And yeah, I was so much more relaxed at the end.
I hope I may have misplaced a lot of things on a hard drive I can't find.
Oh.
Like old episodes. And I'm like, if we have that episode, the one that we did at Nightmare of the Wolf, when it was Whispers, because that's why it's not on this feed.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing to throw on the Patreon. To be like, hey, here's our first recording that we did, Lucy's first ever podcast, when we had never spoken
Yeah.
to each other before. That was the first time we ever like spoke to each other.
Yeah, that was the first time we ever like spoke on the phone as such. Yeah. How funny.
That will be
I don't
interesting.
think I could listen to it. I think I'd die.
Yeah, it'll honestly, when I
Cringe
listen to
so
the first
much.
episodes of Whispers, I'm like, oh my fucking God, I'm talking so slow.
Uh-huh.
Like the audio quality was fine, but I'm like, I can't listen to this. And people are like, man, it sounds good. I'm like, thank you. But
Yeah.
I will, in my head, I'll be like, no.
That's the thing as well. I would have had my old microphone as well.
Yeah. Honestly, it's always sounded fine. This one sounds better, clearly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's always sounded fine.
It did the job.
Otherwise, I'd have been like, hey, we need to get you a new microphone.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more sound editing with it on the old ones. But
Mhm.
all right, the last thing that needs to be explained before we start is why I'm wearing this bandana. As I explained on the
I'm so
YouTube.
used to it now.
Yeah, you are, because as I said on the YouTube short, I'll explain it there as well. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and 2 days from now, the U.S. plays England in the World Cup. And so I'm in full-on patriotic USA mode, and I've got it for now.
It looks great.
I kind of just like it. Yeah,
I like
it.
I like it as well.
This is my Hollywood Hogan phase, or my Hulk Hogan phase, where it's just boom, and Bret Michaels and all that. I'm the bald bandana guy now. Okay. Although I don't have like the fake hair coming out that like Bret Michaels and them had, where it's just they grew out the horseshoe of the head.
Oh, what, like a mullet?
Yeah, where they're bald. It's like the horseshoe, they're bald at top, but back here is super long.
Oh.
So they could have the long hair. Like, no, never do that. So with that explanation, this is it. Maybe I'm just stalling because it's the last.
I think
Witcher
you're
3,
stalling.
and we're talking about the endings. There is so much to talk about, so let's really do get into it, though.
Yes, something ends, something begins.
Something ends, something begins. The first thing we're going to talk about is, as was notified with a lot of people, you can find the dwarfs that took your boat if you have the good ending, is what I saw.
Yes. So the boats that are the boats.
The boats. There's a boat. The boat is there.
The dwarves that took your boat at the end of the Isle of the Mists quest. I couldn't remember
Did you say island?
The Isle of Mists.
Okay.
Should I start again?
Yeah. No, I thought you said island. And I was like, no. I just didn't want to get yelled at.
No, at the end of the Isle of Mists. Okay. If you remember correctly, some dwarves have stolen your boat. And these are these dwarves. And I don't know why Geralt is so set on getting this boat back, because you can literally just go to any harbor and grab a boat.
It's the principle of the fact they left them there, and then the wild hunt and all that. Like they literally, he saved one of their buddies, and they took off after like what 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, it did not give them much time to catch up.
We've also found out that Geralt might be a little racist towards dwarves with some of these comments we've heard throughout this game. Yeah, I remember one where he just clearly says something like typical or something negative about dwarves. I was like, damn, Geralt?
Oh, shit.
I know.
But then he's like, oh, I have a friend who's a dwarf, so...
That's what he does. He talks about his one dwarven friend, Zoltan. Oh, Yarpen, I guess, was still around, too.
Yeah, true.
All right, so the one thing that they hit up on this, though, you can go through things, they hide, and these witch hunters come, and you can sell them out. You can fight the witch hunter. You can do all that crap as usual. But the best thing to do is just tell them that the dwarves aren't there.
Yeah.
And that Geralt makes up a lie saying he's tracking them. The dwarves come out and they say they've become investors now, and they've met with the Mr. Mirrory or something guy.
Interesting.
So those dwarves are in trouble.
Yes, because we're in White Orchard at this point as well, aren't we? Which is the last time we saw Mr. Odim.
Yep.
At the very beginning of the game. So yeah, they are in trouble if they've went into dealings with the Master of Mirrors for sure.
The Master Mirror Gaunter Odim, who we are towing down the line. We're kicking his can down the line, again, Hearts of Stone, to get there. So I do think those dwarves are in for... They don't have a good ending coming for them.
No, I don't think so either.
Is not going to end well. All right, so with that, we get to the endings. There were 3 endings for Ciri. We're kind of going to just go Ciri first, and then we'll go through some of the character endings that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
The first one, Witcher Ciri, what I think, well, no, there's still some people who say that Empress Ciri's the best because they do good. We'll get to there. But to me, this is the best ending by a mile. It's the only good ending, and it's one of only 2 fitting endings. And we kind of have it down there. Y'all know what happens by now if you've gotten to the ending. Geralt does tell Emhyr that Ciri died.
Yeah.
We get to hear Charles dance one last time,
Oh,
and he
love
says
him.
he never wants to see him. Which I never want to see you again. I don't want
I
to
do
ever
not
see
wish
you
to
again.
see you again. And Geralt just kind of goes,
Geralt's
same,
like, yeah,
same.
mutual. Let's not do this again. Okay, so that's it right there. The Witcher, you have a nice chat with these dwarves.
Yeah.
Eventually, Geralt picks up the sword Zerel from the
Yeah.
Old Nilfgaardian outpost, meets up with Ciri in White
Mm-hmm.
Orchard. They have a discussion, talk about, oh, did he buy it or not? Whatever. And it ends very cinematically with, let's see, shoom.
I love that
And then that's it.
ending. That was the ending I got my first playthrough, and I'm pretty sure there's a clip
Yeah.
on my Twitch. There's a clip saved of my first reaction because it leads you to believe that Ciri might be dead, and then you go to meet someone in a tavern and you see the hooded person, and Geralt sits down beside, and then it's Ciri, and it's like, she's not dead. It's a great ending, but yeah, like you said, it's very cinematic. She's like, "Can we try the sword out?" And he's like, "Not inside. We have to go find some monsters." And she's like, "Well, let's go then."
Let's
Closes the
go
sword.
on
End
the path.
credits. On the path. On the path they go. Exactly.
Yeah. So I remember too with the ending being like, what the fuck just happened? And then you're meeting with Emir and he says she's dead. And I'm like, oh my God. Did I
Yeah.
get the bad ending? But then I
Yes.
remember the way he talked to the dwarves. Like, he seems in pretty good spirits here.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
and then once he met and got the sword that was called Zurel, I was like, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the hell's exactly going on, but there's no fucking way she's dead. And then once I saw the hooded figure, I was like, okay,
It's
got to be her.
Thank God.
And then that's it. Good Witcher ending. Only had chose one of the bad options mercifully, because you're right. I didn't know anything about The Witcher.
Yeah.
Now I kind of wonder if I would have gotten the bad ending, what that would have done, like how that would have felt.
I think
We need to
I
know that.
honestly think if I had spent 100+ hours on this game and it ended with the bad ending, I would honestly
So
be
depressing.
so down in the dumps. I would be
Yeah.
awful because when this game ended, I was ecstatic. Like I thought that's such a perfect ending. It's you Geralt and Ciri out on the path together, and she just closes the sword. And it's like The Witcher 3, and I was like, perfect,
Witcher
amazing, I love it.
3.
But if you even the Empress ending's kind of like, well, I'll talk about it later. But yeah, if we get the bad ending, it's just I would be so upset.
Yeah. So let us know if you did get that, especially if you had read the books and knew everything and you had a previous attachment to Ciri. Because playing The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2, zero Ciri, and you have no attachment to Ciri. I think they mention her name maybe in the first one. I don't think her name ever gets mentioned in the second one, maybe somewhat. But please let us know. Let us know on Discord, here in the comments on YouTube if you're watching it, because I'm genuinely curious to know how people
How did that feel? Yes, I want to know as well, because that is really rough.
Really, really rough. All right, so the next one to me is the most nonsensical. I hate this ending. I know a lot of people like it, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I put Gurlat on there and kept it. I like saying Gurlat. Gurlat, Dandelion, and Zoltan chew the fat at a tavern, and just the music.
Great music.
When I was rewatching it, they're playing the music. It's just, I just want to stay in these taverns forever in these games. So a lot of things that come out here is rabbit hunting with Ciri. It's traps. That's not hunting. It's just traps. She wants to see this griffin's nest, and Forktail decides it wants to die today. And then Daddy-Daughter Day, as they kill this Forktail. They go fishing like rednecks here in the States by throwing dynamite and explosives in the water, which again, I believe that is illegal every single place in America. I don't think you can explode to do it, but obviously some rednecks, and I'm looking at you, Oklahomans. It's y'all going to do it. If you're not noodling, then you're going to be doing that. And Geralt does say that Vesemir taught him. That's kind of funny.
Just so funny. And Ciri finds it hilarious as well. Because a lot of the time through these little activities that you're doing, Ciri's being very quiet and short. She's just going,
being weird. Yeah.
She's being weird. And Geralt's trying to chat to her, and he's like, we'll do that tonight. I'll tell you about it tonight. And she's like, And then, this does make her laugh a little bit. She's like, what? She's like, Vesemir taught you that. That's hilarious. Amazing. Yeah. And she's kind of like reminiscing on Papa Vez. But the piggyback ride for me, that's what got me. She's like, you never gave me piggybacks, and this just jumps on him.
And they fall down and they're looking up. And if I didn't know what this ending already was, this feels like Ciri is literally like dying.
It feels like she's gonna die. Yeah.
Like she's
Like
about
she's
to
only
die.
got so much time left.
Yes, and she like hasn't told him because Geralt obviously doesn't. He's, hey, we can go down here. Oh, let's go back. Let's do all this.
Yeah.
And she's very clearly knowing that something's up.
Yeah.
And they ride back to this the town, the village they're at. Whole Nilfgaardian guard shows up, and Geralt's like, "What the? Oh, great! Like, isn't this over?
I
Blah blah blah."
know.
And Ciri lets him know right here at this moment that she has decided to become the Empress. She talked with Emir, heard him out, thought about it, and it is the most good that she could do. And I'll get to it at the end when we get to it then. One thing here, and my God, this is the saddest thing almost than the next ending we're going to talk about, is Ciri says, you can join me. We can still see each other.
Yeah.
And you have an option to say, oh, of course, or no.
This is goodbye.
And like, this is goodbye. This ends here. You know what I've done. I'm not doing that. And oh my God, like Ciri, for good reason, crushed.
No, throughout this whole thing, Ciri's little face, you can just tell like she's like heartbroken about this decision. She doesn't want to tell Geralt. Some of the funny bits in this is actually where Geralt's like, have you told Yen? She's like, no. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to let you tell her.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not telling her. I'm not getting involved in that. But yeah, she's just like, that's a really harsh line. Yeah. Like, no, this is goodbye. Like, we can't see each other after this. It is soul crushing. But I don't like this ending either. I really don't like it.
It's not that here's the reason why I don't like it. And it goes back to characterization. For the same reason I fucking hate Reason of State, where Dijkstra acts completely out of character, or we can act out of character as Geralt by like backstabbing Roach.
Yeah.
There is no way that Ciri, books, games, whatever, there is no point at any time that she would fucking do this. And I know people's reasoning. I've said it before on a way earlier episode. It might have been with Liz, because if I remember that correctly, I think Liz likes this ending the best.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. That kind of rings a bell, actually, yeah.
I believe so. And we talked kind of back and forth a little, and I was like, we can save it. And I've heard other people say that. They're like, well, it's the most good that she could do. That's not Ciri.
Yeah.
Like, Ciri obviously wants to help people out, but at no point in the books and at no point in this game or her journey would she do that. And she even says before she goes into the White Frost, all I want to do is go into a warm tavern, kick the fucking shoes off, and have a drink. But I have to go do this. What she had to go do to make the best good was literally stop the world from ending. Yeah. And it was either going to do it or she was going to die. A whole point of Ciri is she wants to tell her own tale, to live her own life, to do her thing. She wants to be a Witcher from the get-go, the introduction of the goddamn books almost, all the way through this game. They have kept that. This is the most nonsensical ending. She would never fucking do this. I've listened to so many arguments and reasons for it. We can agree, disagree, and I'm not discounting your opinion and saying you're dumb or otherwise. People can think whatever they want. That's fine. No, I mean that though.
No.
But from a characterization standpoint, this makes zero sense for her journey.
It seems like such a U-turn, doesn't it? Especially considering like the last, you're going to play this all in one go, right? So the last thing you've heard her say before she goes into the White Frost is literally like what you just said. I want to go and stay in a tavern with you guys and just like chill. And now she's like, actually, no, I'm going to go be an empress.
I'm going to go not do, she does say that she made the decision, because you can ask that as Geralt.
Yeah.
But at this point, she either says completely goodbye to Geralt, or they can somewhat see each other.
Yeah.
But she's the Empress of Nilfgaard. Like, there's no more you.
Yeah.
There's no more you time. There's no more, oh, I'm going to go off on my own. No, you're going to have guards with you. You can't just teleport somewhere for hours and then be like, whoa, where's the Empress? Oh, fuck, something just happened. We don't know where the Empress is. We can't go fucking teleport to God knows where to figure it out. So no, like, it's just, I don't know. I understand where people, they want it for her.
Yeah.
But like I've said before, they've missed the point of this game. Yeah. And it's about what she wants for herself.
I always think in like times like this as well, like she's obviously going off to do her own thing. And I always forget, like I don't forget, but it's just funny to think of going away like this is so permanent in this world. Like I live far away from my family, but it doesn't feel like I live far away from them because I can text them every day and I can call them every day and we can video chat and stuff. Like, me and you live on the other side of the world, but we can like video stuff. So it's not a big deal. But then like with Ciri going away from Geralt here, they won't talk. They won't, like, they might write letters to each other, but like you said, she'll be busy. So it is really like a proper goodbye at this point. Like they're not going to see each other again. And it's just so heartbreaking. You can't just pop in for, you're going to be so far away.
Yeah, she's going on like a tour, I think she said, of all the duchies and everything like that. And sure, you can say, hey, make a trip to Vizima, as, assuming that they're going to go back to Nilfgaard as a capital, that Vizima is going to be this Temerian vassal state in the ending, one of the endings you could get. But yeah, it's not going to happen. Like, this is it. And I don't get it. I'm by all means, let us know again in the comments, Discord, all of that. I'm sure, this will kick up some dust in there, but from just that aspect of all of it, I just is not in her character to do this.
Yeah. I just think this is the worst ending. I like it the least.
I like it the least because it makes the least sense. But what everybody would consider the worst ending is, again, it's going to be a little YouTube short. You can go see what that is and see more of the quick reactions. So we'll kind of be a little bit more succinct here. In this ending, this is the ending. Ciri dies, and Geralt dies as well by the end. It says no body, we don't see it. It shows in one of the things there with the storybook endings that if you get this ending, it's Ciri was seen last in Skellige and has not been seen since.
Yeah. But it never sits well with me when you don't see a character die. Like, I think I said on the other video, like, I don't feel like I have any closure from this ending. Like, because you don't see Ciri die, but we hear Geralt say that Ciri died. He says, my daughter's dead. And then we don't see Geralt die either.
What I like about it, though, is this is from Geralt's point of view. Like, this is Ciri's story, but we're still playing as Geralt. I like that we see her go in and we don't see it because that's the way Geralt saw it.
True. Very true.
He didn't get that closure either. Assuming it says a week later, assuming he stayed there for, I would imagine, days, because and then it finally is, she's not coming back. This massive depression kicks in and then straight to Velen.
Yeah.
To go handle up on Weavis the Crone. And I like that, though, because that's what Geralt did too. If we saw her die and then Geralt, didn't really see it, this kind of makes it worse, like you said. And it also leaves it open. They're not going to do this. This is by no way is this the canon ending.
No.
But it also leaves it open to where maybe The Witcher 4 back then, they had things down for Ciri got stuck there.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And she got stuck there for hundreds of years, or let's just say it's like 100 years. And when she comes back, you've got super old Geralt. And The Witcher 4 was going to be like Uncharted 4, where it's like one last ride.
Yeah.
And so something like that, where you have Geralt, being like Vesemir's age, where something like that. So I don't know, maybe they just kind of left themselves open to that. It's pure spitballing speculation. I'm sure that probably never occurred to them. But at least when you, like you said, it's no body.
Yeah, because I always think, like, at what point would Geralt deduce that she was dead?
Yeah.
Like, what would make him? What would make him think she's dead and not just trapped in some other world? Like, why would he stop looking? Something must have happened for him to think, oh no, she's actually dead. It's not. Maybe Avallac'h knew, because he does mention Avallac'h is in one ending. He definitely mentions. I think he mentions to Emhyr, there's an elven sage. You won't be able to find him either. So he's like gone, I guess.
The good ending.
Maybe Avallac'h knew what happened in there.
That was telling Emhyr, look, don't look for her. Everyone who knew, look, we don't know it. Like, I'm the only one that knows. There's a big spoiler at the end of the books that I know I've talked about before that I would talk about and say there. But same thing with that. There's this elven sage. He knows, but don't mess with him. He's a fucking NL elf. Like, he's gone. So, but yes, this ending is brutal. We did find our new best friend, Barum, though, the werewolf.
Yeah, Barum the werewolf. What a sweetheart. I love him.
And we didn't see him after the fight, but he didn't die in the video we watched. So he made it through. He's got the wolf cub. He's gone long away. He's got his wolf wife. Yeah. Is that what they called it? Is that what said? A wolf wife?
Like, go and find yourself a comely wife wolf.
Comely wife wolf or something like that. It's like, okay, good. Yeah, Barum is cool. I'm going to miss the werewolves from here. Although, I don't know, maybe there's one you fight. Like, I don't remember any boss fights anymore that come from it, but I don't know.
No,
The
I don't
the
think
werewolf
so.
designs are really cool. And yeah, that is the depressing ending. If you got that one, again, as mentioned before, let us know because
Yeah, I feel for people who get that ending after. Oh, like I've just
yeah,
watched it, just randomly, and I felt deflated after it. So like I can't honestly to think you put so many hours into a game and have that whole big finale for it to end like that. I would be so down. I'd be so
that'd be some
down.
people. That'd be some people that just never played the game again. Like
Never
they
pick it up
just
again. Yeah.
uninstalled it and they're just done. And those people are probably not listening to a
No, they
podcast
won't be.
about it.
They're still
So
salty about it.
we'll see.
But he
All right, so
kills
those.
he kills the crone and he
Oh
gets
yeah.
gets
Kills
the
the crone.
medallion back.
Overhead, gets the medallion back, and then by all means, it seems like Geralt's dead. He
Well, yeah,
sits
because
there, puts
even
his head
before
down.
but he is done. Like
Yeah,
throughout this whole ending, he shows no emotion apart from that he's angry and he's fed up. And yeah, by the end of it, he finds the medallion, sits down with his head in his hands, and you just see like a load of monsters pulling up on the house, and it just seems like that's it. He's
and he
ready.
says he doesn't feel anything anymore.
It's so horrible. It's
And yeah,
heartbreaking.
it's a heartbreaking, horrible, but you deserved it if you time and time again picked
The bad
Ciri's,
things.
yeah, the bad parts of them. You treated Ciri poorly, and now she's dead because of you, the player. All right, so those are the three main endings of the game. The Ciri. Now we've got some of these storybook endings. Now we've talked about some of them in previous episodes, so we're really just going to hit on the ones that we either didn't talk about or we'll hit on more because it was very quick that we did talk about. So the first ones that come up is the rule of Novigrad, the free city, and Tactivid. Radovid, a tactical genius, defeats Nilfgaard and takes over Novigrad. So either way, Novigrad is no longer be a free city. And basically witch hunted everyone, it seems.
Yes.
Like everyone.
All the cities sort of followed in Novigrad's footsteps and started burning people at the stake and everything
witches,
like that.
Musicians, anybody, non-humans, they would just find somebody to do. And yeah, there's Radovid. Those that like Radovid now, he looks cool. He's a badass looking king.
Yeah, he's kind of cool, but he is
I'll
a
say
shithead.
Yeah, mainly because he looks somewhat like me. He's also supposed to be so young.
Radovid, that is who you need to cosplay one day, please.
Radovid the Stern. Then I could be an asshole and be like, I'm just cosplaying.
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm
a character. Yeah, all you need is a crown.
Yeah,
and to take
easier said than I need to go get a cheap one. My own crown. The next one, my boy or my ex-boy. I said I broke up with Dijkstra and am now friends with Barum. So my ex-best friend Dijkstra takes over and does what is necessary, whether the people like it. It's what's best for them. Industrialization, all that. And he has this hegemony over the north because Nilfgaard is defeated.
Yeah. So am I right in saying that?
I'm sorry, peace with Nilfgaard. No, peace with Nilfgaard.
Peace with Nilfgaard, right?
Peace with Nilfgaard, yes.
So they're not defeated. Because I always wonder about the Empress ending. Is it affected at all by your decision in Reason of State?
So I looked up, we have a link in the notes here for like what you do with all the endings. It got so fucking spiderweb convoluted. It looked like Charlie Kelly and Always Sunny with the meme board right there. It got so confusing. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking misspeak like I just misspoke there.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say what happens with these and whatever comes up.
Yeah.
Because like, and we'll get there actually with the next one. We can kind of talk about that when it comes to the Empress ending and whatnot. So the next one is the two things with Emhyr or the Nilfgaard. Emhyr takes over and conquers as Radovid could not stop them. So this is obviously what happens if you take down. This is what happens if you take down Radovid, but you kill Dijkstra and you support Roche because Temeria is back as a vassal to Nilfgaard.
I think this is what I've done a few times.
See, I can't kill Dijkstra.
I know. It isn't nice.
Can't do it.
It's not a nice thing to do.
Can't do it. And if you don't do Reason of State, Radovid stays alive, and that's when he stays and conquers that. But one thing that I always thought about this too was like Roche and these Temerian loyalists make peace with Nilfgaard, who had invaded them, who'd killed all them, who was directly responsible for killing Foltest, because it was Emhyr and the Nilfgaardians who hired Letho to do that. And they're saying, whatever, we don't care. We're a vassal state. but we have our sovereignty back. We're still self-ruling, very much like a Toussaint thing.
Yes.
And this instantly reminded me of Ho Chi Minh of Vietnam after World War II. And it was towards the end of World War II when Japan was clearly going to be defeated. And then a big thing happened. I think it was the Atlantic Charter that talked about what to do with these countries and these people who were taken over by Japan. Obviously, the locals like Ho Chi Minh wanted self-rule. Obviously, the colonial states, France, Britain, all that, wanted that. And it reminded me of Ho Chi Minh asking Truman and the President of the United States, Harry Truman, for help after World War II, saying, help us, quoting things from it. The Vietnamese Declaration of Independence is almost verbatim to parts of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. Is it? Yes, we the people, self-evident, all of this stuff. I mean, it reads exactly like it. And some from the French, I don't think it was the Declaration of Rights of Man. I think it was the one that came after that, like the 1791 one that they had. Because I think the Declaration of Rights of Man was 1789. But he did that as well because France had colonized them. And so the United States could have helped right there and done like what they did with other ones because the Japanese had taken over. But instead, they decided, of course, an imperialistic country like the United States is going to side with another imperialistic country like France to help them out. Ho Chi Minh petitioned and helped, asked for the Soviet Union and got some support from there. So it's kind of one of those things where if the United States would have helped out, what's the difference? Because he was obviously communist, but Ho Chi Minh was so much more. Ho Chi Minh was just like Vernon Roche, where he was first of all a nationalist and a patriot. He wanted self-rule, just like Vernon Roche right here. Vernon Roche wants self-rule. If it means I have to, bow to the empire to do it, okay, fine, I'll do it. Ho Chi Minh was I'm not gonna say it was exactly the same way. He wanted self-rule, whether that help came from the United States, or whether from a capitalist United States, or the socialist communists of Soviet Union or whatnot. Who's really to say? But the Soviet Union helped out, became fully entrenched communist, and then the fucking Vietnam War happens 20 some. Well, the Vietnam War happened with them immediately with the French. Happens 20 years later with the United States. Who the hell knows what might come out of it?
So Ho Chi Minh is a person.
Yeah.
I know it's the name of the city. I thought it was the name of the city. I've been there. Yeah. Ho Chi Minh City I've been to. I didn't realize it was a person.
Yeah, he was the leader of North Vietnam.
No way.
Yeah, he was the leader. And I think he died he died before the war ended, I believe. I think it was like 1969. But the main Vietnamese general, Vo Nguyen, I don't know, it's like Giap or something like that. GIAP. I don't know how to pronounce it. He died in 2013.
What?
And this was the guy who beat the French and Americans' ass throughout that, and then beat the Chinese. Vietnam beat every war they fucking won. Like from like the 40s, from Japan to the French to the United States to the Cambodians to the Chinese. They fought all of these things in there, and they fucking undefeated. And this dude was 102.
Jesus, that's so recently.
The architect of the Vietnamese War on their side against the United States died 9 years ago.
That's mental. When I was there was so much war stuff there. Like it was amazing. Like I saw massive tanks and everything.
American
go into you can like go into tunnels and shit. It's such a cool country. Like if I was gonna go to anywhere again, it would be Vietnam for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I will 100% want to go there, and it will be also interesting because my dad's Vietnam vet, and so
no way.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of those things. Yeah, he's on permanent disability for Agent Orange.
Wow.
That the American government dropped on Vietnam, the pesticides and all that, but obviously winds blow and it blew over to where he was in Thailand on the border, and so he's on permanent disability, cancer, maybe infertility. So I might not even be able to have kids.
Jesus.
Through genetic through Agent Orange. So
Thanks, Vietnam.
Yeah. Well, I think it was the U.S. that did it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's it. No,
Thanks,
again.
Obama.
Well, exactly. There you go. He did it. Well, that guy did die in the Obama administration.
Oh.
The Vo Nguyen Giap died during Obama administration. So there you go. Blame Obama for that one. All right. So there's a little history tidbit. Usually I do medieval history. So there's a little bit of 20th century history for you there. Okay. So with that one there, Emir takes over and Ravid's gone. On the next one, this happens here. Emir gets killed.
Yeah.
And the Merchants Guild finally takes him out. He's done. Guild of Merchants, I should say.
Mm-hmm. How do we get this ending? Is this if Dijkstra wins? This be tied with Dijkstra?
Well, because Dijkstra, this has to do, is this one with the with the succession. I think
Possibly.
yeah, like if you don't do it, he doesn't have this. This is what happens if you don't get the succession because he doesn't have it
Yes.
stabilized.
Yeah.
And they lose the war, and that's where if you stop. I'm sorry, if Radovid's there, he's going to win the war. If you don't have the succession, he gets killed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This must have happened for me then. I just can't remember this bit.
Okay. And that was something that absolutely came up in the books, where his reason of state of trying to find Ciri in the books was a lot of shit's going on. These goddamn guild of merchants, very, it's an early mercantilism, hints of like that mercantilism, early capitalism from the early modern era of real history of where they started getting powerful. And they started having all this power to say, you're fucking things up. These wars are fucking up our money.
Yeah.
We can't get out of it. And so that's kind of a way for them to tie that back there. So, yep, that ends there with Emhyr Dunzo with that one. All right, next. We hinted on it. I know we talked about it when the King's Moot were in Skellige. We talked, but this is where it's fully over. And Svanriga, the least one I think people get, becomes an iron-fisted ruler.
Yeah.
And basically pacifies, if you want to call it, all the clans, and he makes the Isles a hereditary monarchy, just like the kingdoms of the continent.
Yeah. This is
no more King's Moots.
Yeah, this is probably the best ending for Skellige.
For Skellige to be strong in what they've done, yes. And when you see the Hjalmar and Cerys, it's good and bad in their own ways, depending on what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. But I've never seen this ending before. And I was saying, I can't remember where I was saying this, but I would like to see this ending in my game, but it means that you would miss a quest out. So I wouldn't be able to 100% the game and get this ending. Because
that's right.
You have to miss the coronation stream.
Yeah. I think you said that earlier today.
Was it? Yeah, I can't remember when it was. But you'd have to miss the coronation quest, which would mean it was not 100%. So I'll have to... Nope. I think I'm going to go with Hjalmar next time. Just out of interest.
Just out of Cerys. Because, if you do Hjalmar, if Hjalmar takes over and you had him on there, he keeps raiding Nilfgaard. He's going to keep up what they've always done, but it's not good. It's not good to keep raiding and doing all this, and it makes it seem like his people die off. Obviously, you're never going to go anywhere. You're just going to be these, Iron Islanders of doing that. On the flip side, Cerys modernizes the Isles, but they're a bunch of wusses now. They don't fight.
They don't fight, and they just kind of, but they don't exactly thrive either, do they? They're not like doing super well. They're just kind of meh.
I would say that it's just kind of what you see it as, tradition or not. If you want tradition, then you want Hjalmar.
Yeah.
He keeps the King's Moot. He keeps everything the way it was. If you want to be more powerful but still fight, then you'd want Svanriga.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes away so much of that independence, and now it's a hereditary monarchy. And now you're pretty much screwed if you get a shitty king.
Yes.
Where at this point right now, you could always vote somebody who's most respected and best to lead. And then if you're Cerys, it's the most peaceful. And like I said, it modernizes. They don't have to go raiding anymore, but they lose that tradition. And if they get invaded, all of a sudden it might be like, look, these Skelliges have had a generation. They're not fighters anymore. We could go over there and just easily kick their ass.
Become weak. Yeah. Yeah. So there's as ever, there's no clear-cut best ending for Skellige here. Because I don't agree with a hereditary monarchy. I don't think it's very Skelligan of them either. I'd be interested to see how that went down, actually, amongst all the Jarls and stuff. I can't imagine he had loads of support on that. Unless it was after he had done, he's done a really good job fighting against Nilfgaard. Maybe they thought, okay, let's stick with this guy and keep him happy.
Well, no, what it makes seen is he just pacifies the clans, that he got support from someone, went to whoever, Drummond, and was like, hey, this is the way it's going to be. You in, you out. And if they say they're in, okay, they pledge fealty, they're in. Think of like the Seven Kingdoms, like Aegon and all that. And then ones that say no, all right, we're going to fucking fight you. And like they're going to die, and then they're going to be wiped out. And then they got, someone else to put in there to do it. So it's not good, but again, it's Skellige and the way they live and how they live. It's what do you expect?
That's it. Yeah.
All right. So now we have Geralt's the final ones to do. And the first one is if you don't romance anybody.
Yeah. Or if you romance everybody.
Or if you romance everybody. Because that's we didn't bring up the 3 to tango. We actually never talked about that. When you try to get, I think we said that we were going to talk about it, and then we forgot about it. Shocking. And then people didn't bring it up. So yeah, the 3 to Tango one is where where you've romanced both.
And they figure it out.
Yen and Triss, and from what I gather, Dandelion kind of knew. Like
I think he's in on it.
He might have not have planned it, but he might have been privy to it and kind of let them have their fun because he knew it'd be funny as shit.
Yeah.
You're basically trying to get a threesome with Yen and Triss. If you have any history of these characters, that was never gonna fucking happen. No. And it's kind of a nice moment between Yen and Triss because they both might realize in here, man, fuck this dude. Like we don't need to fight over him. We don't need to think about him. We're better than him.
Exactly.
And then they leave him tied up to the bed. Dandelion finds him, unties him, and makes fun of him.
It's so funny because Dandelion leaves him there for so long, and Geralt's just laid there with his arms and legs tied up. Totally, and Dandelion's just taking the piss out of him. Obviously, he's going to talk the talk when Geralt can't threaten him or be potentially aggressive. So Dandelion's talking so much shit when Geralt's lying there tied up, and eventually lets him out.
Yeah, so that's fun. I know a lot of people had to get that because they're like, oh, yeah. But I 100% I romanced Triss first go around. I didn't know any better. Please don't yell at me. I didn't know the history. And we just met Triss and we hung out with her first mainly. I didn't know.
I know.
I didn't know. Don't blame me. All right. So the first thing you can get is if you try to romance both or if you romance none. And I have down here, broke ass bitch, typical Geralt.
Yeah.
He's on the path, smells like shit, has no coin. Every once in a while meets up with Dandelion to have a drink and share a story. That's it. He's on the path. He's a witcher.
And that's what he does. And, I think he'd be fine with that. I think he'd be happy enough with that life.
I think I think he'd be very cognitive dissonant about it. If it happened, he'd be like, I'm a witcher. This is what we do.
Yeah, yeah.
But he don't want that. I think he wants one of these next two because they're both fucking great.
I mean, they both sound miles better.
Yes. And this first one that we'll mention, it's not just because it's with Yennefer, but I like what they're doing better. They have breakfast in bed afternoon, so they're getting some good sleep in, and they have lazy days and good conversation doing whatever they want. And that to me is what I would do if I all of a sudden did not have to make money and work.
Yeah. Yeah. And then maybe Ciri just comes, visits them every now and then. It's just a lovely ending.
Yeah.
That's my ideal ending.
It is until we get to Blood and Wine. And then the Blood and Wine one is that combined with your whole we'll get there. So the last one to discuss is if you picked Triss. And I didn't remember this one, even though again, I would have gotten this ending 7.5 years ago when I first played, or about 6.5 years ago, because I played in 2015. With Triss, he joins her as advisor. Well, I shouldn't say this. She's the advisor to the king of Kovir, and he joins her up there. And they host a lot of guests, apparently have a lot of parties. They don't turn anybody away, and their door is always open.
Yeah, and Geralt, I think it says something like Geralt takes the occasional Witcher contract if he wants to, but Triss is bringing home the bacon. He just gets to live a quiet life.
He gets to live that. But to me, that is amazing. But it's like there's still duties and there's still drama. And Triss may come home just upset about something. And
still politics everywhere.
Yeah, the politics that Geralt, he loves to hear about that. And he'd have to do all that and be involved with something. So that's a great ending. But give me breakfast in bed afternoon. Yeah. Doing fucking nothing. Drinking. Nothing.
Yeah. Just talking. Just them two. Maybe they get visitors every now and then, but not having to host. Can't imagine Geralt wanting to host parties unless it's literally just drinks with the boys.
Yeah.
Not parties with politicians and kings and whatnot. That's true.
And then Geralt, like everyone, the door's open. So whatever Geralt's doing, someone just comes in. Someone high up nobility. Geralt's like, oh yeah, come on in. I guess maybe with Triss.
Maybe. He would do Triss would do that. But I think the Geralt that we know and love would be all over that Yennefer ending.
Oh yeah, just do whatever. Who knows? Maybe someone said, "Hey, there's trouble down at the old well," and he goes and slays a wraith, and Yen helps out. She can run interference, and then boom, 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 they get it. So no, that's the ending I would want. But speaking of endings, I think that's it. I think we've discussed all the other ones like during the episodes when they came out, like the Bloody Baron one. I'm positive we did.
Yeah.
Like what happens with there's like 16 of them or something. So
it's insane.
They did their due diligence, a lot of replay value, or you can just go to YouTube and have a link right here that just shows them all
Yeah.
to do. But I think that's it.
Isn't this insane?
It is. I never thought this day would come.
It's been a year. It's almost been a year exactly. It's been like
a little
a
over,
year and 4 days
5 days,
or something.
4 days, yeah.
Which is just wild.
Oh fuck!
What?
We didn't talk about that. We raised 420.
Oh my god! Yeah,
we had the fucking stream, the 1 year stream. Well, okay, perfect. Done the episode anyway. We raised $420. We community, all of y'all out there, helped raise $420. It was like 600 something Australian dollars for Australian childhood.
Yep.
And massive thanks. It brings the tally throughout the year of, I think it was 5 streams we did, 5 charity streams we did, or was it 4 or 5?
There was 4 or 5. Yeah, I'll double check.
Yeah, I think it was 4 on Tiltify, and then the one that was off.
Yes, the one that was for Paul. Yeah.
So across that, we've raised over $4,000, and it's super impressive because I know at least 2 of them were straight like, "Hey, let's do this," and they happened within a few days. Like we never really pumped it up. We never really did all that. So, in perfectly on brand for us. It's very much, hey, let's do this. Oh, shit, that's a good idea. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We'll do it.
Yeah. Brett would just message me and be like, I've got this idea. And I'm like, okay, we'll do it tomorrow.
Well, because it was literally, you were like, we should do a charity stream. I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. And then I was like, oh, I'll think of one. And then once I like sat down, I'm like, what can we do? And I was like, fuck, does Liam Hemsworth have one?
Yeah.
Brought it there on Tiltify. Perfect.
It's been an amazing year. I'm just looking at the note that I keep now. We've done Choose Love with Misha Simpson, which was, I'll say in dollars, $1,300. We did one with Paul Bullion for Cam, which was $1,100. We did one for Planned Parenthood, which was $765. We did one with Doug Cockle for Safe in Our World, which was $670. And then the $420 that you just mentioned from Australian Childhood. It's been so much fun doing that. It's such a nice thing to do. And then we just end up doing silly streams. I think me and you streamed for like 8 hours on Saturday, playing all kinds of different co-op games, and my stream was struggling so much. And I was struggling so much because I was sick. My computer was really, really struggling, like lagging. Oh my god, all sorts. But it was still,
it did not like Elden Ring co-op.
No, my computer was like, girl, what are you doing? And I couldn't hardly speak. But like the 8 hours just, I don't know about you, but the 8 hours just flies over for me. I couldn't believe it had been 8 hours. And there was such a good, steady stream of people in the chat with us and people donating. And it was just, it's so cool doing stuff like that. I always feel dead proud of the community when we managed to pull these sorts of things together. So big thank you to everyone who was a part of that.
Yeah, no, massive. And going into that, big thanks again, 983 Mark, producer, putting all this stuff together. Make sure to check out our separate YouTube channel if you don't know. All of the links are below where to contact us. Check out the main 983 as well, especially if you like card games. Get big into that. I know.
Oh yeah.
The Fab, big in cards. They also do those. And I wish cards was bigger. I like the game. Like this World War II is a World War II card game.
I think I've seen you stream it a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an Icelandic tiny company, but I love that. And one of their guys, one of the main guys in that community, Spoos, a German guy. He's a really, really funny dude. Just very German. Esque in that sense. I don't know, but he's a good dude. So yeah, if you like random card game stuff, check out the 983 main channel. And again, look to our On the Path only for special stuff coming up, like this short that we talked about here. Some other stuff there. We're definitely going to get some more stuff on there. So check out the links below. It's also the Patreon that we have down under there. We just did the first episode on a live commentary, if you will, or a watch along. I need to call it a watch along of The Witcher Season 1, Episode 1 pilot. We both enjoyed it more than we thought we would.
The Butcher of Blaviken. I loved that whole episode, and it was so fun just watching it along. I love that style of podcast. I think it was quite a funny one.
Yeah, you were kind of a little sick under that as well.
So we're gonna sick. Yeah,
the whole week was kind of struggling, but no, we'll put those out again probably every couple of weeks, and we'll try to find it. We can have a little drinky action on it.
Next time I'm gonna be so lit.
Yeah, 4 marks. It's the Yennefer one. So again, make sure to check that out if you want to hear us talking about The Witcher Season 1. We have all the backlogged episodes of House of the Dragon Season 1 and a special one over our favorite Game of Thrones episodes, $5 a month. Yeah, it really helps out. Thank you for everyone that does it. And Lucy, where can we find you?
You'll find me at Lucy J Robin on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I did make an account on that new Hive app, but I quickly deleted the app. I can't be bothered. I'm not doing it. I made an account. I was like, I'm gonna get my handle, just in case it takes off and I want Lucy J Robin. But apparently, 4 or 5 people could have Lucy J Robin. Like, there's no validation on this. This could be wrong, but there's no validation on this app to stop 2 or 3 people having the same handle, which to me seems like a security risk. So I've deleted the app. No shade to Hive. It might be great, but I don't like it. Also, it said I'm a Pisces, which I'm not.
Yeah, and I said it before too. Personally, I will not go to it. If Twitter dies, if no one uses it, whatever, I'm fine. I will be full-time Instagram.
Yeah.
I kind of want Twitter to die. It'll take up a lot less of my time. I'm partially addicted to it. But for now, I'm on Twitter at the Fox Bride 4, on Twitch, Instagram at the Fox Bride. So if you are still hanging around, if you didn't turn it off, you're going to hear us announce what we're going to talk about.
Ooh.
I'm kidding. We're not. But as mentioned before, we will announce that very soon about where we're going to go after it. And for now, this is it for The Witcher 3. So I don't know. Join us on the path next time as we do Elden Ring, a mailbag, Transformers. Maybe. Until then,
bye. See you.